welcome to Rest Designs and welcome to Project Freebie. In today's video, carry on from the next video, which as you saw, got the engine in finally. Now comes actually the most important part, which is the small little details of things being put on neatly and it all looking, putting it together in a nice way so that it's really presentable, because the engine bay looks so good. I need to do engine bay justice with the paint job that they did with my work. So it kind of works hand in hand. There's no point just throwing the engine in and just, running the bits around. It's at this moment, it's at this time where taking just that little bit extra time, extra few days if needs be, or hours or whatever it is, 5 minutes more sometimes even, literally the results are so much better. So let's go into what I've done so far from the last video. So here you can see this loom here, which is the actual part of the car, the engine loom, which is the starter motor, which I've already put on the signal, the red and black wire. And this was actually repurposed. I think this was for a heater circuit for the heater element on the inlet manifolds on the 1.3. And I've changed the wires around so it still gets ignition 12. And I've just earthed it to the body, so every time that gets ignition 12, that'll come on, which is for the water pump, the auxiliary water pump here. The next one is the coolant temperature gauge for the clocks, for the cluster. And then there was another one here, which I need to extend, which is for the reverse light switch, but actually the switch is broken on this gearbox, and to go source another one, and also then get the right plugs. I think it's like an oval plug that goes on there. So that's to be done. So that kind of covers literally the engine side of the loom. Then there's the blue wire and the alternator wire. That sits here very tidily, and you can see it's all about the detail, making it look really quite nice. So that's all done. So I've done that side of it. So I've also done the battery 12 to the starter and the negative that goes to the chassis leg and to the gearbox, where also the other little bit goes. Hopefully you guys watch the other video, which has got this little, for the engine loom bit here, and also for the ECU earths and all that. That's actually there, and that connects to the same position. I've also put the selector cables in and bolted that on. So I've actually got a selector now as well. And that's actually all bled up already. So I actually have a clutch pedal now and a brake pedal, because I've also bled that as well. I won't put the tank in yet until I've actually run the wires through for the ECU, which is going to be probably at the end of this video. I'm going to run that done. I've also had to make up the brake servo pipe. I'm just going to put some clips on it now. And also can put this oil filter on. As you can see, the terminal battery's in. Terminals are connected. There's been no shorts, no smoke, no fire, nothing missed towards has happened, no fuses are blown. So that's all fine. So this is kind of the first milestone that's done. Let's disconnect this for safety reasons, because there's still a lot to do. So next thing I'm going to do is going to be doing the drive shaft, and then I'm going to be tackling this downpipe, and I'm going to show you guys what needs to be done when you're using the Euro Group N style exhaust manifolds, and what you need to do with the downpipe. You need to shorten it by about 20 mil. So this is a standard ABF downpipe, which has got the cat on the end of it. Now, this needs to be shortened by about 20 mil here. So first thing we're going to do is remove this heat shield cover that always rattles anyway, and we're going to heat wrap it. So due to the shape of it, the best place to cut it is literally going to be right here. Then you can see it kind of starts to bend down. So these are the bits which are the most straightest bits there are. So this is where we're going to cut, literally right there. So there you have it, just chopped it off. I will actually I'm going to clean this up now so there's no burrs inside, and then literally just going to chop that much off there, which is about 20 mil, which is enough. So here's the finished product. As you can see, it's slightly shorter. I've also extended it by about 150 mil, so that it's got a bit better flow, a bit better mid-range and top ends, with the secondaries being slightly longer. And as you can see, I wrapped it up in this titanium wrap. Yep, and now you guys can't see how bad my welding is. All right, so that's done. I've got the gasket. Let's get this fitted. As you can see, here is the downpipe. So as you can see, it clears the steering rack. Please ignore my welding. So yeah, I had to make like a little S bend to get the angle right. That is actually a box from, believe it or not, from a Renault Clio RS 200 Cup. Yep, it's 2.5 inches straight through. It's the front resonator on that. I saw that laying around, I picked it up at a friend's. And then there's also like another Jetex box down the bottom there. So I'm gonna have, it's gonna be a 3-box system. You're gonna have 2 resonators and then just the back box at the back. This is the original system that I put on there, which is, I think is a 2-inch off a GTI, which I had on my 1.3. So that's kind of done. And also I've put on both drive shafts. So that's all done. So now I can actually drop the car on the floor. Okay, so it's finally on the floor. It doesn't sit any lower with the extra weight of the engine and gearbox. Seems to be fine. Now, got a few more things to do in the engine bay, which is going to be the bonnet cable, these coolant pipes at the back, and fitting the rads and some coolant in it, and then putting the expansion bottle in. But also the ECU. Now, I'm not going to rush this. This actually deserves a whole video, kind of going through from start to finish on this. So in the next video, I'm going to do a whole complete video on the ECU, and then these other little bits and pieces like the bonnet cable, put fuel in the tank, and get it running. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, click on that notification bell, and be safe.